Check 1, 2.
Someone is what they want to do everything nice. They cast me up, so we want to do everything nice. They never take me, so make they do everything nice. Someone is sleeping there, we know we are no lie. Someone is what they want to do everything nice. They cast me up, so we want to do everything nice. They never take me, so make they do everything nice. Someone is sleeping there, we know we are no lie.
Welcome, everybody. Yeah, this is a new cut. Do everything nice. Waiting on my man, Jay Sean, a.k.a. Mr. F. Love. But right now, figured it didn't want to be late, so I go ahead and get started. So welcome to Keeping It Real and Peep Game TV, team collaboration. I'm your man, Shadi Ali, a.k.a. SRD. Right now, doing it solo. So dig, since I'm doing it solo, gonna do something, I'm gonna have to go without the questions. I want to talk about something that occurred a few weeks ago. You know, a young brother that I know, came back to Patterson. He's living in Florida now. Came back to Patterson and, he was hanging out, chilling. And, you know, cats pulled up on him. Cats pulled up on him and jacked him, jacked him, robbed him. And from what I hear, it's for me, my personal outlook at it, when I look at this and I saw it, I didn't like it, you know. I looked at it as, you know, something that we do to each other, and other people do it too, but it bothers me more when I see, my ethnic family do things like that. So they robbed the brother, and my thing is, you know, if you rob somebody, wouldn't it be better if you just walked up to the person and say, look, whatever it is, if you like what they got on, they change, whatever. Look, man, I like the chain. How did you get that, man? What you had to do? I wouldn't mind getting one for myself rather than taking something from somebody, because remember, you don't know what a person had to do to get what they got. So you don't know what a person will do if you take something from them. So you put yourself in a awkward position, in a dangerous position, because if you take something from somebody, some people retaliate. Some people just don't walk away and let it go at that. Some people gonna come back with a vengeance. Now you decided you wanted to take something that didn't belong to you, and now that you took it, now the person got the right to do whatever they feel is necessary, and you may not like what they do. They may do something to you that is for keeps. You took some jewelry, you took some money. Somebody may want to take your life for taking something from somebody that you probably could have got them to explain to you how they got it, or even help you get it. This is this is the thing, that when you decide to take or rob something from somebody, you don't know what can really happen. I'm pretty sure a lot of young brothers has robbed somebody and they got retaliated against. And I'm pretty sure, and I hate to say this, that some of them even got murdered. Now you got your mom, your pops, your family members crying over you, crying over this person because they they don't know what you're doing in them streets. They think my baby, but your baby acting like a gangster. Your baby running around taking something from people. Your baby robbing people. Now your baby get murdered. You crying, you hurt, and you got all rights to be hurt. You got all rights to cry. However, your baby don't have the right to be running up on people, running down on people, and taking what people work hard for to get. Even if you rap or whatever, now you got rappers. It's difficult for them to come into neighborhoods and chill. Anybody, if you come into a neighborhood and every, don't get me wrong, there are some people who want to flex on people who don't have. And those people, I feel bad for them too. Because if you have and you're not trying to help somebody get to where you at, then shame on you. For those of you who doing that, you you need to work on something. You know what I mean? You need to work on some self issues with yourself because we all want to do better in some way or another. So if you around people who don't have and you want to shine, you want to wear big chains and stuff and shine, or if you just that's just a part of your personality. See, we don't know. Some people, it's a part of their personality. Okay, they throw something on and they throw their jewelry on. They felt like they earned it, so they have a right to wear it. Now, do the person who feels like they're being you trying to show off had a right to take it from you? No, they don't have the right to take it from you. They don't have the right to pull a gun on you and take something of yours because in these days that's a dangerous thing to do. It's a dangerous thing to do to take from somebody that you feel because you got a gun, you got the ups on them. And more than likely, you got an illegal gun. What happens if it goes wrong? What happens if they pull out a gun while you walking away? So please, you young brothers out there who want to be gangsters, think before you run down on somebody. Think before you feel like you got the ups because you carrying a gun and you want to rob people. Or you think you tough because you're carrying a gun. Other people got guns too. Everybody don't show them. And a gun is not to make you feel stronger, not to build your heart up. A gun is for protection. So I think you young brothers got it twisted. You think the gun's supposed to make you tough. The gun's supposed to make you bigger than the next man. No, it don't. You guys throw a punch sometime. I see on social media you got some guys fighting now, and that's great. I don't condone violence, but I'd rather see a person go heads up, hand to hand, because you got a better chance of walking away and surviving than if a person pulls a gun and start firing off. There's too many individuals laying in the grave now who were innocent, who had nothing to do with nothing. And the other thing for some of you cats that's out there, some of you so-called gangsters, wolves, thugs, you guys got beef. If you got beef, handle your beef with who you got it with. Don't run down on nobody's family. Don't feel like you got to get other people involved who don't even know what's going on because you beefing with somebody else. And then, what are you beefing for? What? Because somebody said something you didn't like, somebody stepped on your toe, somebody smashed your girlfriend. So you hurt. You want to hurt somebody because of that. Remember, if they didn't rape your girlfriend, that means your girlfriend volunteered. So keep that in mind. You know. So I just wanted to put that out. That yeah, there are people who like to flex. Yeah, those people do better. But you people who are running around, you cats, you so-called gangsters, you tough guys, you wolves, keep in mind that life has this thing where you get what you put out. So you put negativity in the air, you don't get some negativity back at you. How? Only life decides that. So be mindful. And the part about you get what you put out, this goes for all of us. This goes for every single person who's watching. We get what we put out. As the Bible say, you reap what you sow. So let's start sowing some some goodness, some kindness, some connection, some unity as a human family. As a human family, sure we all have different ethnicities that we belong to, and we most of us try to cater to that ethnicity. And that's like our immediate family. Like we have an immediate family that we cater to, and then we go out and we meet other people who become like family, and we cater to them. So it's nothing wrong with that. Now I want to switch up gears, and I want to talk to the American people. I want to talk to the American people about the state that America is in right now. The state that America is in right now, do you really believe that the person you're voting for, no matter whether it's the president, whether it's your congressman, whether it's the senator, whether it's the governor, whether it's the council people, whoever you're voting for, are these people doing what you voted them into office for? Or are they making an effort to do what you see? As the American people, it's time for us to unify as a whole and start demanding change. You know, my view, my opinion, when it comes to Democrat and Republican, this is another means to separate the people, to get the people divided and functioning on a different level. Remember, it's about conquer by divided. Whenever you're divided, the rich people are able to conquer. There's a few rich people that control everything that goes on, including the government. And the biggest facade of all is to get the American people to take sides when it comes to political party, when it comes to being a Democrat or a Republican. We have people who will dislike another person because they are a Democrat or a Republican. Now, you disliking a person because of their political belief. At at its best, we all want life to be better, easier, but right now, look at the gas prices. I know some places it's $5, some places it's $4, some places may be higher than that. Look at the food. The food, look at things that used to have sugar, just natural sugar, is now filled with fructose, some cheap substitute that the body have difficulty breaking down. Now remember this, by giving you food that will cause you to gain weight or even cause you to get caught up with your health, to throw your health off. These pharmaceutical companies are connected with the food industry. And if you're going to vote, American people, start realizing what you're voting for and the people that you're voting for and what do they intend to do to make your life better. Politics has become more of a business than it's become something for the people, to help the people. Now, don't get me wrong, a lot of politicians go into office with the notion that they're ready to help the people. However, when they're surrounded by a bunch of individuals who see politics as a business and is making money, a lot of them, unfortunately, lead to that other side and start turning into the money and forget the people. You American people, you got to realize that that's what's happening to you, to all of us. That's what's happening. We've been sold out by the very people that we trusted, put our vote in, and felt like they were in there to make a change for us. Unfortunately, the change is not for the better, the change is for the worse. So don't get caught up on, in my opinion, take it, leave it, or throw it away. Don't get caught up on any political party. Get caught up in what is your interest. What do you want to see change in your city? What do you want to see change in your state? What do you want to see change in your taxes? What do you want to see change when it comes to your pay? These are issues. What do you want to see when it comes to insurance? What do you want to see when it comes to rent, mortgages, buying cars? All of these things that affects your life, and you're voting people in, and it's getting worse, not better. And you're still, you're many of you, they hit us with, oh, Trump is the reason everything is wrong. Trump is one man. You got Congress, you got the House of Representatives. So what are they doing? What are they doing to combat what Trump is doing? The game is being played. People peep the game. The game is being played on each of us, that they have us saying, oh, the Republicans won't let us do this, or the Democrats won't let us do that. No, they're two sets of teeth in the same mouth that's biting us all on the butt. Biting us all on the butt because we're suffering while these people get rich and wealthy. These people, I guarantee you right now, the Obamas are millionaires. The Bushes are millionaires. The Trumps, they're much richer than they were before they came into politics. These people are playing each and every one of us here in this country. We're all being played. We're all being looked at as suckers. And our job is to try to make it better for each other. The same thing with what they've done to us when they say, you black, you white. They got the black people thinking that, you know, white people get privileges. They got the white people thinking that the black people is dangerous. The black people are the enemies. So this is the separation game. This is the game when you looking at each other like a villain, when the real villain is the ones who making the laws. These are the real villains. These are the ones who we need to call the ops. These are our opposition. These are the people that are causing whatever struggles you're going through financially, health wise. These people are responsible for that in some cases, especially when it comes to how much you can get paid on a job, how high healthcare is. Like for a country that's supposed to be one of the richest countries in the world, you would think that healthcare would be free. You would think that education would be free. How many of you watching right now got loans from school loans that you need to pay off? Or you know people with school loans that need to be paid off? How many people do you know like that? This is what you want to be voting for. This is what you want to hold people accountable for. These people that you vote for, these people that you argue back and forth about, Republicans, Democrats, both of them, the thing that you need is you need free healthcare. You need better ingredients in your foods. You need to get the right quantity for the amount of money that you're spending. These are the things that we need as a human family. This has nothing to do with ethnicity. This has nothing to do with religion. It has nothing to do with any of that. It has to do with us as a human family and our needs and what we need to survive and live a healthy, productive life. We need what? Better wages. There's no way that all wages should be lower than $20. I don't care where you at in this country, in this land, you should be making $20 at least an hour. If you're making less than that, how you really survive? That or let me put it this way. All you are doing is surviving. You're not making it. If you're not making at least $20, and these are things that you can demand. These are things that consider when you're voting for somebody. If you want to vote for somebody, vote for a person that you don't really know. And I give you that. You don't know what a person's going to do until they actually get in office. However, once they get in and you see that your changes that you hoped for is not happening, get that person out of there. Get that person out of there. You need, some of you are brilliant enough that you may need to run yourself. Now, for us, now I want to shift gears again. We got 6 minutes left before we're done. I want to shift gears again. Now, for us who are known as African Americans, Black people, things of that nature, everybody here, everybody listening, everybody watching, you know the story of Black people supposedly being brought here on slave boats in the 1600s. But what you don't know is that there were people who were considered Black, couldn't have been an African American because it wasn't America at that time. They were already here. So the people who were already here that are considered black back then, they were called black Amors. They were called black Amors. The black Amors had their own government. They had their own government and their own civilized nation, but they invited the British, aka Pilgrims, aka Europeans. They came and they were welcome. And they, something you probably haven't heard of, treaties. They put together a peace treaty for each ethnicity or each nationality to share the land, to share the land with each other. So technically, we were supposed to be, as Blackamoors, sharing the land with the new arrivals who were considered British, aka Pilgrims, aka Americans, you know. Now, what happened is somehow our government or the Blackamoors government was taken over by the American government, and the Blackamoors became black people. They knocked the Moors off and they became black people. And when they knocked the Moors off, they stopped adhering to the peace treaties. They no longer had to live by the agreement that they had made with the Blackamoors because now they were dealing with black people whom they made citizens of their country. So what happened, really happened to black people was we were enslaved by another government. They have gassed us up and told us we were in chains and we were all this and this. That's the falsehood. That's the lie. What happened to black people, aka Blackamoors, aka Moors, was the foreign government took our people and put them under their government, which gave them power over us, which made us slave, our ancestors slaves. So until we reestablish our Moorish government and be able to utilize our treaties to combat what's going on with the now American USA government, we are going to remain, I hate to say it, slaves. We're going to remain slaves. Why? Because we are going to have to pay our taxes and don't know where they're going. We can pay our taxes and say we want them to go to Haiti or Jamaica or Dominican Republic. No, they're going to go to Russia. They're going to go to uh, Israel. They're going to go to Ukraine. But we are not agreeing to that. However, we're doing something called acquiescing. That means we agreeing without saying anything because we're not doing anything to change it. There are some people, along with myself, that has found reconnected with this information from our ancestors, and we are now in the process of reestablishing the Moorish, aka Moroccan government that the Blackamoors, aka black people, had prior to America taking over and taking the land. As I said, it's the Friendship and Peace Treaty that gives us the right to share the land. And we will not be able to share this land in a proper manner until we reestablish our government and our government communicates with the United States government and protects us under our government. So if you want to learn more about that, there's some classes called the Impact Study Sessions. You can find that on YouTube. All right. So, but that's our time for tonight. We was only doing a half hour because we missing the other half of our crew. We only doing a half hour. Thank you as usual. I know you could have been anywhere, but you took some time to spend with me, and I'm grateful for that. And until next week, life is love, love life. Stay up and stay focused. Peace.